1, 2, 3. Greetings, plague endurers. I'm Tom.
I'm Galen.
And this is your 15 minutes of FUME. We don't know what we're doing. Here we are, though. It is Friday, and we are, once again, desperately trying to be entertaining, accommodating.
Is it working? Are you entertained yet? No, because we haven't really started.
Yeah, if you have to ask, it's not happening.
All right.
So the joke's on you, though, because we actually have a real corker of a program today, because guess what? We have new perfumes that you haven't smelled yet or even heard about. Ha 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 ha! This never happens. Usually we are left playing catch up and getting the scents as they are bottled. And it's usually later in the game than is, I would say, from a marketing perspective, truly useful. But this time we have some of the new Winter 2020 perfume collection. It hasn't even been released yet. Very soon, very soon, very soon. But we have some of it. Isn't that incredible?
It is incredible.
It's a little, like this week we've been bottling and pouring like crazy. The new collection will debut at virtually any time, and we thought it would be fun to do a little preview video so that you can see some of the things that you will be smelling, or that you may decide that you will not be smelling based on what it is. So what is it? Okay, so I can't really go into the details of the full winter collection yet. You know you're going to get some winter general catalog scents, some, recurring things from years gone by, some new things, eyebrow waggle, eyebrow waggle. But one of the new collections that we're doing, just for fun, is a series called Gingerbread Monsters. Okay. Often we have done in the past like a gingerbread collection. I think it was called the Gingerbread Cotillion, and it was different takes on gingerbread. So this is a kind of a fun twist on that, keeping the Halloween spirit going, because for some of us it never really left us. And we have invited artist Drew Rausch to create artwork for these that is so hilarious and cute, and it is basically children in kind of like Ben Cooper-esque vintagey Halloween costumes being presented with a gingerbread monster cookie. And there are 6 different gingerbread monster cookies and one unifying fragrance to layer them with, which is a nice tall glass of ghost milk. How do they milk the ghost? I couldn't say. We'll assume for the purposes of our production that this is a cruelty-free, fully consensual ghost milking session. Just like that, the video is like an
Turned
SFW.
off.
Yeah.
Oh. They're like, ew, gross.
Either the video is turned off or the viewer is turned off. It's like, Actually, I mean, for a lot of people, I think just like leaned in closer and now are like fogging up the screen. So there is that. So anyway, we're going to present these fragrances and sniff them a little bit right now on camera. And we'll include the artwork so you can see it nice and big before you even get a chance to buy it. What?
We're actually ahead of the game.
Don't get used to it.
No.
This might never happen again. And if you're frustrated that you're hearing about something that you can't buy, congratulations on this uniquely American experience. I hope that this is as hard as your day gets. And never fear, they will be available at blackphoenixalchemylab.com basically as soon as possible.
Just hold your gingerbread horses.
Ha!
Okay?
Ha!
Just came up with that.
Hold them gently so the head doesn't fall off.
Lovingly.
All right. So scent number 1, and it's set apart because it has a little purple label. The other ones are kind of orangey. We have our Ghost Milk Built for wearing solo or for layering with your gingerbread monsters. I wouldn't like dip anything in the ghost milk actually. It's just like, it's oil.
Don't put an Oreo in there or anything.
Do not consume the ghost milk. You can welcome the dead into your soul, but do not welcome the ghost milk into your stomach lining or mucous membranes. The scent is goat's milk, get it? Ha! Marshmallow fluff, vanilla cashmere, honey dust, and white chocolate. Lavish.
So that's ghost milk.
That's the ghost milk. So, wow. This is already a little different in my nose than it was when we were pouring it the other day. So, obviously, it's a very rich and creamy and sweet scent. And it's funny because that vanilla cashmere kind of really... I wonder if that's supposed to be like the ghost, like, sheet. I can't tell.
I don't know.
It is mostly rather gourmand, but I like that there are kind of different... it's like a little bit dusty, a little bit sticky, a little bit, like, fluffy, a little bit smooth. Many, many different shades of shade, but all just kind of like, white and very inviting. That goat milk note I remember from the Mask of the Red Death collection a few years back now. There was one that had the goat's milk, and I was so curious to see how it would smell because as a child in a rural area, I was sometimes tasked with caring for my piano teacher's goats. I know, save it for the biopic, but there's a particular goaty smell that is like lingering in the background of certain childhood memories. I stopped taking the piano lessons because I wet my pants.
From drinking all that goat's milk.
No, I never drank the goat's milk.
You were secretly doing it.
All of the teachers...
It's fine, you can admit it now.
All of the teachers' children had Bible names. Finally, I wet my pants and no one made me go back.
Is my nose going numb from smelling all this ghostly milk? Is my nose a ghost?
I told you not to get it in your nose. I don't see a nose.
Okay. Oh, it's gone.
Long story short, this is a nice, sweet, creamy, vanilla... Just like, there's a little bit of a butteriness to it. So, this is your dippin' sauce. Conceptually anyway, for your gingerbread monster cookies. So now onward to our gingerbread monster cookies. And the first one we're going to do, because these are alphabetical in the update, and it's kind of a shame because the joke, I think, with this one is better if it comes later, but this is the Gingerbread Invisible Man. The funny thing is that the child on the bottle is being gifted a cookie that is basically invisible. Is it even there? And this is funnier to me after you've seen a bunch of the other illustrations with an actual cookie, and then this one, it's just like invisible. Like, I could have one. I have like an actual one. You would never know. The notes are champagne-soaked gingerbread, candied ginger, lemon, and white sugar. So just like a really kind of like sparkly, effervescent, vaporous entity. Woo! And I have to say, this one, the staying power, the throw and the staying power on this one was insane, and I think it's because of that champagne note, which I just feel like ricochets across like the molecules, like lightning striking you from far away. And I could smell this the day after bottling. When we went back and started bottling, I could still smell it in the air.
I could too. I also tried on, like, seriously, a drop of this on my hand, and then it was just like
mushroom
invisible.
Cloud. Yeah. The invisible, the gingerbread invisible man, like, gets around. You don't know where it could be. It just is everywhere, potentially everywhere.
Kind of appropriate.
I love this because it really brings, because it has the candied ginger, it really brings out that ginger note in the gingerbread. Loud and clear. This is like it's like one of those like kind of like spicy ginger ales.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what it smells like to me. And the lemon kind of like, I think really helps give it even more of that. So it doesn't necessarily read as much of a holiday gingerbread to me, so much as just like a really rich, sparkly, sweet, zesty ginger scent.
Mm-hmm.
And often in the past when we've released something like this, it's had like some kind of earthy component because of like ginger root, which is very different ultimately. So I like that this is still kind of a festive, like served at a party kind of like a ginger punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just love it. And I shouldn't have put it on first because now I wonder if I'll even be able to smell any of the others. We do have our coffee can, not sponsored by Chock full of nuts. Chock full of nuts. I don't even like grant myself the.
Just say it as one word. Chock full of nuts.
Chock full of nuts.
Chock full of nuts.
So, because the risk when you're smelling a lot of scents that are united in the same like base, is that you'll only smell the differences. After a while, I might not even be able to smell the gingerbread at all because it's the one thing they all have in common. So, did you smell it? You okay? So the next gingerbread monster that we have, I love it. For once, people don't have like a list in front of them that they're going down waiting for. They're just like having to listen and see what's going to happen. The next one we have is Gingerbread Mummy. Gingerbread Mummy smells of gingerbread wrapped in bourbon vanilla, white sandalwood, and marshmallow butter.
Just like normal mummies.
Yeah, except for like the gingerbread version. So weirdly, so obviously these are all going to be kind of sweet and playful because you get the idea from the concept and the art and everything. And it's like, how do they connect with the idea of the respective monsters? This one does definitely smell old to me immediately. And I guess it's probably because of the sandalwood mixing in with the gingerbread and everything. Suddenly it tastes like a little less edible. It reminds me of that gingerbread dough that you would make to make like a scented ornament to hang on the tree. Do you remember that? Did you ever do that craft?
Yes.
Did they ever make you do that?
Yes.
And then you would just go and smell it instead of eating something?
I think mine cracked. We had an ornament. Yeah, I had an ornament, but I feel like part of it broke. The part where the hole through the string was.
You blew it.
And then it cracked. So then we just had this like crumbled gingerbread ornament in our ornament collection that could no longer.
I bet it made the box smell
personal
really
story,
nice, though.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, but it got stale and it dried and
So the bourbon vanilla is a little more of a sophisticated scent, and then that is really nice with the sandalwood. The gingerbread does give it that kind of like, crumbly, cookie kind of smell. And in terms of the marshmallow butter, it is kind of like it does smell really rich and sweet, and I can't really pick out the marshmallow like at a quick glance right here. But overall, just what a beautiful... it's weirdly like a little more of an adult gingerbread mummy. It's like the Legs Avenue gingerbread mummy costume. You know what I mean? Now we have Gingerbread Vampire. Blah ha ha ha. Ironically, a vampire would not be able to eat a gingerbread vampire because they cannot consume human food.
But they can make them, and they can, vampires can still bake.
Oh, they love to bake.
They have a lot of time on their hands.
So the gingerbread vampire scent is gingerbread, dark chocolate, cinnamon, and star anise. So I was a little surprised when I read the description for this that it didn't have some kind of blood note. It just seemed like a gimme. I'm kind of excited that it went in a different direction because the lab has no shortage of bloody vampiric scents.
Yeah.
It's really kind of cool that it went in a different direction. And again, the dark chocolate really makes it smell a little like more like ancient. And then the cinnamon and anise notes are...
This is nice.
It's really strange. So I can't help, of course, but compare it to the pumpkin spice absinthe in terms of that, like, the licorice-y component to like an otherwise well-trod holiday treat. But it does, again, like the mummy, kind of take it into like an old place. Like there's this kind of like weird, cool, crypt-like 11 herbs and spices kind of situation. I would really be curious to see how this pairs with the ghost milk. So maybe I will just do that right now. Look at how much fun we're having.
I completely forgot what was in these when we were bottling them. So when I had bottled this one, all I could really smell was the chocolate. And I was just like, well, I know that chocolate is in here, but I can't tell what else is.
Yeah,
I mean gingerbread.
It tends to dominate in the bottle. And on the skin, you've got like really the anise is coming out, and I know there are people who can't stand that and who are already like next. But I have to say that with the cinnamon and the chocolate and the gingerbread, it really has like a whole know,
That thing. It has a hold of whatever that gesture is. 2 rainbows.
double rainbow.
Double rainbow. Itchy elbow.
It just rounds out the picture so that it's not like a blast of one thing, you know?
Yeah.
And weirdly, I can imagine a vampire smelling like this. And also,
Because they're baking.
if you found
know about
vampire
vampires.
who did smell this like this, you would, I think, it would, I mean, I would be intrigued. Like, if a vampire was approaching me, was like, hey, let me in, and it was also like, I smell like this, and I can tell because it's like a screen door, for example.
It's just wafting in.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
did
be
you bring
like,
gingerbread with you? And they're
Yeah.
like, oh no, I just baked some at home.
Yeah.
For my neighbors.
This is what this is what the this is what the vampires spray into the air in their crypt when they're trying to sell it. You know,
oh, yeah.
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
cookie,
the cookie smell. Yeah, like real estate trick.
Vampire edition.
Yeah.
You know, like we've got this crypt on the market. I will sell this crypt today.
Gingerbread crypt.
And they're just
So like, this smells nice for a crypt.
Yeah. Imagine, like,
I'm
this
gonna
is what,
buy this.
This is like what it would smell like if I lived here and actually did things.
I'm gonna turn it into a boutique hotel. No?
I mean, that would be a good sitcom pilot.
Oh.
Anyway, the
Don't
next
steal
one.
our idea.
You had coffee, I can tell.
I needed the coffee. Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another sip.
Maybe I should poke. Coffee break.
Do you know who else loves to make gingerbread?
No.
Witches. To lure
Oh.
the children into their woodland cottage.
This is established. This is canon.
It's, yeah, you know.
So, the gingerbread witch cookie, perfume oil, is gingerbread,
Huh.
pumpkin pulp,
Hmm.
Arkansas black apple pulp,
Yeehaw.
that's a new one, rosemary, and lemon peel. So,
Ooh.
I didn't really smell this one.
I did because I bottled it, but I couldn't really, again, I didn't know the notes when I was up there, and I...
What I love about this is it definitely smells like a weenie, and for first-time viewers. Just know that we release an annual autumn Halloween collection that is colloquially known among the Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab fandom as the Weenie Collection, because we like cute things that are easy to say, and a certain amount of us also enjoy phalluses. No, I'm just kidding. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, it's not false. It's just not related. Anyway, this smells so much like an extension of like a bridge between the autumn and winter collection.
It really does.
And that I don't know the difference between any of our normal apple notes and this Arkansas black apple pulp. I'm just imagining the perfumer in the blending room in a big tub, like on I Love Lucy, smashing the grapes, except for it's apparently Arkansas black apples, which in my mind are actually black apples that we ordered from,
Arkansas?
Appalachia. So,
Appalachia.
with that fun mental picture in mind, I'm just having a ball. It's not really strong in terms of the rosemary and lemon peel. Those, I think, are just kind of weirdly taking it to more of like a witchy place, like there is, like herbs drying and like maybe a human leg. I'm definitely getting the gingerbread, the pumpkin, and the apple, though, right off the bat. And it's just really welcome. It's not any one of those things so much that it would seem like really dominant. You know what I mean? It's just like a nice, comfortable melange. It transports you directly to that cottage that you tried to eat, and then you had to shove an old woman into the oven in order to escape. Childhood memories.
I'll never forget that summer. Yeah. Rosemary and lemon peel. She's got a little, little gourmand in there.
Yeah, maybe she's making a cocktail that she got from a famous mixologist recipe online. Witches had the internet like centuries before anyone else. Yeah.
They were doing this a long time ago.
Yes. What do you think the crystal ball was?
It's Google.
It was basically Google. Like, the mirror on the wall is basically Siri.
Who do you think came up with that dial tone thing when we had dial-up?
Oh, yeah.
That was a witch.
That was the sound...
That was a witch's, like, vocal cords.
That was the sound of witches laughing at us for thinking that we were doing something new and revolutionary. So, okay, the next on our hit list is... Wait a second, that's the same one. The next one on our hit list is Gingerbread Wolfman, which is...
Ooh.
Could still be available as like a Twitter handle if you act fast. Gingerbread Wolfman is gingerbread, honey, molasses, pulverized chestnut, powdered sugar, nutmeg, and hazelnut. So we're talking a sticky, nutty, fuzzy little wolf. So, oh, okay, so the honey in the bottle is really strong. Like,
so is the molasses.
I guess they're probably working together to try and like pull you down like that horrifying monster in the Raggedy Ann movie. Which is not that different than the Fern Gully monster. Except for I think one was molasses and one was motor oil or whatever. So either way, I feel grabbed.
And pulled down. You're going to be pulverized like the chestnut.
Ugh. A dream come true. Don't threaten me with a good time. I do like how... Okay, so yeah, this is like sticky and sweet and nutty and a bit spicy.
Yeah.
I like... Okay, so the honey scent can be overwhelming to me at times. But I do like that this is like dark and there is that kind of a... I don't know, like that rich brown honey, you know, like... It's just like, you know, almost too good to put on toast. I think it's the nutmeg and hazelnut that really makes this into like a perfume instead of just like a toast spread. Okay, I'm going back into the ghost milk now because I just have a hunch. Ah, lost the lid. It's fine.
Get it.
We live here. He'll get it.
I did it. It's fine. No fuzzies.
What I think is really fascinating about having this little...
Oh, I have the bottle.
Yes.
Well, then I will do this.
What I think is really fascinating about having the ghost milk to pair with is some of these have like a dark component in the perfume, and the ghost milk is very like... It's really thick, but it's also very light and sweet, and it really allows for some interesting contrasts between the light and dark tones, which is such a very simplified way of talking about fragrance. But let's be real... Again, these are scents inspired by monsters in the form of gingerbread cookies, featuring very delightfully irreverent artworks. So, last but certainly not least, we have staggering into the collection, Gingerbread Zombie. Now, I know what you're thinking right off the bat. B-Pal has in our general collection a zombie perfume blend that is like a graveyard dirt and roses. And you might immediately assume that this is a gingerbreadified version of that scent. It is not. It is actually
a whole different zombie.
A whole different zombie. You know how there are some slow zombies and some fast zombies and some like more sentient zombies than others. This is just its own whole different movie franchise. And the scent is... Oh, it's weird to hear a siren when you're talking about zombies. The scent is gingerbread, vanilla bean, peppermint, and milk chocolate chips. So we're talking a mint chocolate gingerbread zombie cookie. I think it's like... Okay, so I think the idea is that it's green, right? The zombie, like the frosting would be green.
Yeah.
And that this is why it's like a mint and chocolate situation. That's the logic, I think. I have no... confirmation from the perfumer about this. That's just where my mind went.
Oh, right. I do remember bottling this because all I could smell was like the chocolate mint.
Yeah. Interesting. I might need a little more of it to like get it on my skin.
Oh, it's just it's
very
nice and smooth.
Yeah. The chocolate smells a little bit dark. I mean, it says milk chocolate, and I believe them. But it's just that the peppermint is like a good, like strong peppermint, And then the chocolate is like, it just seems like relatively dark. It definitely has like a peppermint patty kind of thing going on. And weirdly less gingerbread forward than some of these other examples, as far as I can tell. I mean, the spice is there. I'm getting it. It's not there. But some of these others are just like, with the gingerbread 6-shooters, you know. And this is maybe more of like a delayed release, like some kind of like gingerbread, I don't know, sonic wave.
Oh.
In terms of militarized weapons. It's just it's funny too because with the mint it really has like a coolness that the other ones don't. It's most comparable I think to the vampire one that has the anise scent that kind of cools things down. Like this cookie has been sitting out for a while, whereas some of the others have like a much more like freshly baked kind of like warm aroma.
That Wolfman.
Yeah. I feel like this is the last cookie left on the plate.
Well, it's the last cookie left on the list.
Right. So
yeah.
It's the last cookie left on our plate, but because it's not warm in any way, it actually seems cold. So I'm gonna warm it up with the ghost milk and see how that works out for me. Oh, that is so nice. And with the with the peppermint and then the kind of other gourmand scents, reminds me a bit of the lovebirds.
Oh yeah.
I know probably
Makes
it
sense.
seems like lovebirds. I have them on the brain, and everything is about the lovebirds. But really though, I'm pairing two scents that are kind of like cakey and minty. And do you want to smell them together right here?
Oh, it does have a bit of a lovebird.
Just because of that
Some
mint, I think.
yeah.
The mint and then like the kind of like warmth and sweetness and
creaminess.
Yeah. Really, really lovely. So, that is our set of 7 perfumes total from the Gingerbread Monster collection.
What's your favorite?
Me? Oh.
No, I'm talking to the Invisible Man over there. What's your favorite? Mine is the Invisible Man.
Mine is this one, but I
can't remember what it was.
I think it's the Mummy. I think that's the Mummy.
I feel like you put the Mummy on that hand.
Yeah. Based on what I've got on the skin right now, I mean, I'm having a great time. And unlike a lot of times when we try on scents across our whole arms and then get overwhelmed by too many competing voices, you know? It's like a whole like Bruegel painting like come to life on your arm. There's enough of a harmonic blend because of the common ground that it actually is kind of nice. So I think that a lot of these would probably layer nicely together. And this is just one little slice of the Winter 2020 collection that will be premiering so soon. And yes, it's going to take a while to get to you because we have a lot of orders to fill and the US postal system is in its busiest time of year during an unprecedented time of crisis. So, you know, like these are basically perfumes that most of you are going to be enjoying in January. We wish that we could do more about that, but it is what it is. So, I wish I could speak more about the other stuff that's coming out, but like, you know, at this point, why not wait and just read it instead of having us read it to you?
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit longer. And I hope that having a preview in the meantime was just lots of fun because as someone who is tasked with helping to try to get the word out about new collections, it's always a frustration of mine to have to wait so long to be able to actually have this conversation about it. By then, a lot of the people who want to buy it have already bought it, and they're just coming to us for validation in their purchase. We will be coming back to you next week with more of the winter collection because we have it and we're going to be reviewing it. I think I just made a dog noise. My throat collapsed while I was inhaling in glee. Is it time to go?
I think so.
Okay, say goodbye to the nice people, Galen.
Goodbye to the nice people, Galen. Oh, goodbye, nice people.
hang in there, and we'll be in touch soon.
Video's over.
Go
what are you
away.
doing? Hey! Hey!
No, you can't leave.
Stop it!